Welcome to Whiskey Pour and today's episode of Foolproof Friday. On today's episode, I'm going to specifically focus on a comparison side by side with the Maker's Mark Wood Finishing Series. This is the BEP bottle. This bottle is the last of the Wood Finishing Series that Maker's Mark is going to release. I'm going to do a side by side with that bottle, with the number 46, the standard offering, the number 46 cast strength, and the Maker's Mark 101. Reason for this lineup is because in the description of the BEP barrel entry wood finishing bottle, it specifically talks about doing 10 virgin oak staves, and that is the same stave profile that the number 46 has, along with the number 46 cast strength. And I threw in the Maker's Mark 101 just as another standard offering that Maker's Mark has to see if there's really that much of a difference between what the 10 virgin oak staves bring to the table over just what a normal Maker's Mark 101 offers to the general consumer. So let's get started, start the episode. Okay, so what I've done is I've got my 4 samples here, each one with about an ounce in each one, and each one with the paper slip showing what they are. Now, I don't know what they are. I've mixed them up. I poured them in there about an hour or so ago, so I have no clue which one is which. We're gonna go ahead and just put them A, B, C, D, pour them in the Glencairns, and get to nosing these, sampling them, see if I can tell the difference between these two specifically. This is really where I'm interested in seeing what the side-by-side comparison is of these two bottles, and see if the number 46 and the 101 can stand out on their own, or if they just kind of all blend together. So let's try it out. Okay, our glasses are poured. Glencairns each have roughly an ounce in each one. So let's start with A. Give a quick little swirl, coat the glass a little bit, try to get a good amount of coverage to get the best nose out of it we can. Okay. Not super strong nose. There's some vanilla, but it's not overly punchy. There's a little bit of a astringency to that one, not the most powerful nose or super sweet, but there's definitely touch caramel and some vanilla in that. Okay, nose for B. Now, when I say this, all 3 of these are gonna have very similar noses, and the only real difference from the standard offering 46, the 46 cast strength, and the BEP really is gonna be the proof point. I've got 94 proof here, 110.1 proof, and 109.6 proof. So very close on these two. What's interesting talking about these two is that Maker's Mark talks about how their barrel entry proof for all their product is 110. So it's very interesting that this is at 110.1 and this is at 109.6, and how this would presumably be 110 even, and this one could be slightly higher since this is cast strength and this is barrel entry proof. So this does make sense that this is higher since cast strength is what the proof is when it comes out, whereas barrel entry proof is what it is before it goes in. Same thing as full proof, meaning the same exact thing, but cast strength meaning uncut, unfiltered, undiluted down when it comes out of the cask. Okay, so it's nose B. This has a little bit more in the nose. I'm definitely guessing that this is gonna be one of these 3 higher alcohol content. Has a bit of a strawberry aroma to it. A little bit of vanilla, but what comes across probably most is like a darker sweetness, like a caramel or like more of a brown sugar, and a little bit of strawberry on that nose. Okay, let's go to C. Coat this on our glass. This is a much sweeter nose. Not any real red fruit up front on this. Maybe a little bit of grape. Not a lot though, it's not as pungent as Glass B. more of a sweet, kind of traditional Maker's Mark profile to it. If I was gonna guess, I would say that this is gonna be the Maker's Mark 101 because it is a higher proof than this is, but I get more of just a sweet caramel aroma from that. Okay, on to glass D. Slightly sweeter than C. I get a little bit of caramel, some vanilla. Very soft nose though, not overly complex, very easy nose. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and work ourselves through this and see how they come out. So we're gonna start with A. A has like a slight cherry note to it, red cherry note to it. A little bit of vanilla, but the predominant flavor for me coming across is cherry. On to glass B. Glass B has more of like a strawberry aroma to it, more sweetness on the palate, slightly more viscous, still very smooth, but a little more of a strawberry and vanilla palate to it. And then on to C. C has more of like I'd say a plum almost. Maybe not quite plum, but a darker strawberry and cherry kind of mixture to it. Slightly astringent, but a more easy sipping whiskey, not quite as flavorful or complex as B is. And then on to D. D has almost got this like sweet caramel, maybe even a touch of chocolate in there possibly. So I went through A to D. B is a little more complex, D is a little sweeter, C is more muted, not quite as pronounced as B is. We're gonna go ahead and take a break for a second. I'll come back and I'll retry these D to A for the next one, see if that makes a difference in the flavors that I get. Okay, taking about 5 minutes here, let my palate kind of cool down for a second. We're gonna go ahead and go D to A and retry these and see if there's a difference. That's slightly different, honestly. I almost get, which is really odd, and I will never ever get this from Maker's Mark ever, other than maybe the traditional Maker's Mark. There's almost like a banana flavor in there. It's very deep. It's not in there very easily, but I almost get this banana flavor from there, which I don't get a lot from Maker's Mark, other than the original label. I get a little bit, but not in any of these ones. There's still that slight astringency there in C. Still smooth, not overly complex. I do actually, now that I've picked it out of D, I'm starting to get this like banana, it's probably more of like a vanilla flavor than a banana flavor, but I get this like slightly, kind of like a banana, like a sweet banana. It's very deep, it's not very prominent. It's probably more of a vanilla caramel thing that I'm associating with banana, with like Bananas Foster kind of thing, but I get more of a caramel from both of these bordering on like a banana covered in caramel kind of thing. Okay, on the B. B, I get more strawberry, deeper, darker, like brown sugar caramel with possibly a little bit of like vanilla in there. And then A. I get, actually, that's a lot better this way than it was that way. I get more of like a strawberry aroma to this, a sweeter red fruit, brown sugar caramel. Very enjoyable, actually. Okay, I'm going to go through these one more time, try to figure out what I think first, second, third, and fourth place is, and I'll be back in 1 minute to give you my answer. So after spending some time with them, really having to go back and forth between D and C here as to which was in third and which was in fourth, the result that I came out with was gonna be B in first place, A in second, D in third, and C in fourth. These two are very close, and I was having a hard time really picking them apart as to which one I liked more. Ultimately, I came out with C. It had slightly more complex nose and a slightly more complex palate. Not crazy difference though between the two. Now, if I had to pick and guess who I thought was what, it's gonna be really hard because I hope that B being my number one is gonna be the BEP. A lot of people really like this and say this is phenomenal. Now, honestly, it could go either way between these two to me because it has a nice viscous taste to it, and I feel like it could go either way. Now, when I talk about A, I feel like this is gonna most likely be number 46, the traditional label. And D, I think, is gonna also be whichever one of these it is. And C, I think it's gonna be 101. Now let's see if I'm accurate. So we're gonna start with first place and work our way back. Okay, first place is gonna be Maker Mark number 46 cask. So, first place is gonna be our cask strength, which I honestly think this had the darkest, deepest, most complex flavor in both the nose and the palate. So definite first place win on that, number 46 cask. In second place, I think this is gonna be just the old school number 46 label, but let's see what it comes out with. BEP, okay. So, limited release, barrel entry proof. Now, it really was a horse race between these two because the other two were definitely not first and second. So these two definitely came out on top. Let's see what third is. Third place is gonna be 101. So you can tell, obviously, apparently I like high proof because I got the highest proof, second highest proof, third highest proof. 101, and then that leaves the old school number 46, dropping my stuff over here, number 46, 10 Virgin Oak staves for fourth place. So in first place is gonna be number 46 cask strength, coming at 110.1 proof at $60 MSRP. Next up is gonna be the Maker's Mark limited release, so hard to get, almost comparable to most alligator bottles, $65. Second place, third place is gonna be Maker's Mark 101, and fourth is gonna be number 46 Maker's Mark. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Let me know which one you think you would choose for your first, second, third, and fourth place among this 4-bottle side to side. And subscribe to the video, or like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment on it. It helps me grow. I really appreciate you for watching. Until next time, peace out.